Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Meb here. This is the first time I'm actually doing a live video, per se. I wanted to start a new series up, um, not pertaining to, gameplay or video games and anything, but I want to talk about a new topic, specifically. Um, well, if you guys don't know, um, I'm a gamer, and I'm also a comic book junkie. Not heavy comic book junkie, but, I do read comics. I do love Marvel, I do love DC. I am more of a Marvel fan, if you guys are wondering. That's just Marvel I grew up with more than I did DC. Not to say that I don't love DC, I do love them, but I do love Marvel more. But all in all, I do love comic books. I do read them from time to time. Not as often as I would like, but when I get the chance to, I do sit down and read some comic books and things like that. I've read a couple of great series, a couple of bad ones as well, but if you guys haven't guessed, this is going to be my first ever comic book review. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, for quite some months. I wanted to get it done um, during Halloween, but due to complications, missing battery, and the fucking tripod problems, I couldn't do it. But now I have all of that right now, so it's a better time than ever to do it now. Now, you're gonna hear some weird noises and stuff. I'm in my room. I think my dad's fucking vacuuming or doing some crazy shit right now. My brother's getting dressed. I don't know. It's whatever. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about comic books. And the comic book that we're going to talk about in particular, well, the character we're going to talk about is Batman. And before I dive right into it, the thing I'd like to talk about Batman is quite a very unique character in the DC universe. Everybody loves Batman. And the reason why people like Batman, I'm going to say mainly two reasons, because one, he has no superpowers, and two, he's a badass. But it goes much deeper into that, because Batman, he's dark, he's edgy, he's the kind of guy that you don't want to get into an alley with, because he will fuck your shit up. He'll do whatever it takes to protect Gotham. And he is a very intriguing character, and I mean, I'm not a huge Batman fan. I do like the character, but I'm not as huge as everybody else is. But anyway, without further ado, this is the comic book we're talking about. Batman: Arkham Asylum. Now, I don't know if you know that. No, I don't know if people know this, but yes, there is a Batman Arkham Asylum. And not to get confused, this has nothing to do with the Arkham Asylum and the Arkham City game, which I will discuss later on in the video, but has nothing to do with that. Batman Arkham Asylum, A Serious Madhouse on a Serious Earth, is a very dark comic book. Basically, it deals with this. Typical night in Gotham, or whatever. Commissioner Gordon asks to see Batman. Commissioner Gordon tells Batman that Arkham Asylum has been taken over by the inmates, and is being and the leader is none other than the Joker himself. But the Joker demands that Batman come into the asylum. So, and if he doesn't, he will kill all the doctors and the nurses of the asylum. Now, of course, Batman has no other choice but to go in the asylum and to bend to Joker's wishes. Now, everyone might think this is suicide, but Batman feels that by going into Arkham Asylum, he feels that he's going home. And what he means by that is that people of the outside world, or the outside of Gotham, they don't accept him. They don't understand him. They don't understand why he does this. That he feels he needs to do it because he caused his parents' death, and he feels Batman is just as crazy as the inmates in Arkham. But what makes him different is he's in control of himself. He can control that anger, that sadness, that pain that he's feeling between his parents' loss. As where other inmates, they express themselves by killing, robbing, and stealing, and things like that. So, anyway, Batman goes into the asylum, meets the Joker. Now, the Joker shows Batman, the asylum is crazy. There are lunatics running loose. There's people hanging off walls and things like that. And one of the most intriguing things that happens in the beginning of the comic book is Batman runs into Two-Face. And if people don't know who Two-Face is, Two-Face is was a lawyer in Gotham. And sorry I had to cut the video real quick. My brother had to ask me a question real quick, but there shouldn't be any more interruptions. So back to what I was saying. Um, yeah, so Two-Face, Harvey Dent, is in there, and what Batman sees is this, that Harvey is not himself. He what he uses is he uses a coin to make decisions for himself. Like, for example, like if he's gonna kill somebody, he's like, oh, should they live or die? He flips a coin, and if it lands on heads, obviously the person lives. Lands on tails, which is scratched off, the person dies. But what the doctors did to him, they made him use other things to make decisions for him. For example, in the asylum, they made him use a dice to make decisions, and then after he felt comfortable with the dice, they moved on to a deck of cards. But the thing is, Harvey's losing more of his identity because he can't make simple decisions as should he go to the bathroom or not, and then he just pisses on himself and just shits on himself, which Batman feels that Arkham Asylum is not doing any good because, you know, they're not helping him. They're just, you know, he's not even human. He's shitting on himself, pissing on himself. He can't make decisions for himself. Like, he's incoherent. It's just not good. But anyway, the Joker wants to play a game with Batman. He wants to play hide and seek. He has an hour to hide in the asylum, and all the inmates are going to find him. Batman says, does he really have a choice? Joker says, no, of course. And Batman goes to hide. Obviously, the Joker does not oblige by his own rules. They do not wait an hour. Basically, they just wait like 10 minutes, and then they go look for Batman. During this whole hide and seek thing, Batman runs into various villains like Scarecrow, Clayface, who is dying from a disease, the pedophile, the pedophiliac, the Mad Hatter, which most people don't know he is a pedophiliac in this in this comic book series or novel or whatever. He also runs into Killer Croc as well, who also tries to kill Batman and tries to fight him as well. And forgot somebody else. Let's see. I have my notepad here just in case I forgot something. Bad villains, Two-Face. Yeah, I think that's about it. Two-Face. Yeah, that's about it. But there's also a cool side story in here. The story of Arkham Asylum itself, of who the person who made Arkham Asylum. His name is Amadeus Arkham, I believe. Yeah, Amadeus Arkham, who's the founder of Arkham Asylum. Basically, he was a psychologist back in the day, and his mother was very, very, very ill. She was very sick, and her illness got worse and never got better. So he tried to take care of his mom. After the whole, during the whole, taking care of his mom, they basically lived like in a mansion because they were rich. His mom always saw a bat, and it wasn't like a regular bat. She felt that that bat was supernatural, like it was going to attack her and kill her. And every time she saw the bat, she'd freak out, and Amadeus did not know what to do. So to end her misery, he killed her. He slit her throat, and it was very painful for him, and it was very, obviously it took a toll on him. But he pushed forward and moved on with life, and he tried to put that behind him. Fast forward a couple years later, Amadeus is married, has a wife, has a kid, has a daughter rather, and he's working on a patient. His name is the Mad Dog. During that time, he was a crazy serial killer. He wanted, he was murdering people, just raping them, didn't care. And Amadeus wanted to find out what made him tick. He tried everything, and he just wouldn't crack. So one day, the Mad Dog gets out. The Mad Dog finds where Amadeus' wife and daughter lives, rapes them, and then eventually kills them. Amadeus is traumatized by the whole event. Eventually finds the Mad Dog. He basically he told people that he was going to give him shock therapy treatment, but instead he just shocked him to death and eventually killed him. And he eventually killed him. Amadeus went crazy and lived in the asylum, which is Arkham Asylum. And basically what he did was he stayed in there using his fingernails, writing curses and spells and everything, and basically blames the bat for all the trouble that has caused his family and everything. He blames that, and he's been conjuring spells and like witchcraft and things like that until the day he died, which Batman does find out in a secret. I'm gonna say like a secret passageway in the comic book. Like he finds like a little secret walkway in the Arkham catacombs, I guess you can say. He finds out the writing and everything, and they actually find a diary about it. So with that knowledge being said, Batman, with the new knowledge Batman has now, you know, he frees out the doctors, all the nurses or whatever. They get him out. Batman confronts the Joker. The Joker's like, "Well, did you have a good time?" Batman's like, "Of course not. You know, I'm getting the fuck out of here." Joker's like, "Well, you're not leaving here." And then he flips a coin to Two-Face, and basically he says to Two-Face, "Let Two-Face make the decision. Let's see if he says I can leave or die here." And the Joker said, "That sounds like a good idea." And Two-Face is basically like, "I don't know if the coin, they said it wasn't good." And then he goes, "Harvey, you need to get your identity back." He says, "You need to be a man." And basically, he comes back, flips the coin. He grabs it. He looks at it and goes, "Batman goes free." And the Joker says, "Okay, Bats, you're free." He goes, "But you know, when the outside world doesn't like you, you're always welcome home," which is referring to Arkham Asylum. And Batman leaves. But in the last shot of the comic, you see Harvey look at the coin. It's scratched off. So basically, Harvey Dent just let Batman go free, even though he wasn't supposed to be, because they could have just killed him, but they didn't. And Harvey finally realizes, like, I don't need this fucking deck of cards, and just throws it in the comic book and ends. And that's really the whole rundown of the whole comic book. It's very good, very psychological. It makes you think. It makes you think on a deeper level than most comic books do nowadays. It's very, very good. I would say it's a must buy in my opinion. What's also very good, which I didn't show, which I'm going to show now, is the artwork. The artwork is absolutely amazing. I guess you can't really see here, but if you look, you see the artwork here. It's amazing. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. Like for example, let me see if I can get a good shot. Right here, you can see Batman, the dark outline of him. That's how Batman always looks. You can't really, it looks like a shadow. You know what I'm saying? And all you see is his teeth and his his jawline and things like that, which is really cool. Which I also love is the Joker's look. He looks fucking crazy. It looks like he's been in the asylum for years. His hair is all wonky and wild and everything like that. It's just crazy. But the artwork is amazing in this book. It's just top-notch quality. I recommend to anybody that's an artist to look at the artwork. It's worth a look. The writing's good. Everything's top-notch about this. And before I end it off, give me 1 second. This comic book is also based off of two things. Okay. Because of this comic book, this game was made. Now, the game is not based off the comic book itself, but it is loosely based off of it. Like, there's same ideas. Joker is control of the asylum. And that's why we have this game as well, Arkham City. Because of this book, we have these two amazing games here. And by the way, if you're a huge Batman fan or a huge superhero fan in general, these games are a must-buy. This is amazing, and this is one of the best sequels to any video game in history. In history to date. But yes. So all in all, the comic book is good. Well, excuse me. The comic book is great. It made two fucking amazing games. I mean, you can't get better than that. And, I highly recommend it to anybody that's a Batman fan or anybody that likes unique style of artwork and things like that. I recommend it to that. Or if anybody's in for a good psychological thriller, kind of thinking on a higher level, I also recommend. But this is your boy Meb. This is my first ever comic review. It's a little rough. I think it was a little rushed, but I'll let the fans decide how they feel and what to think about it. Can't get it right the first time. Gotta move on from here. So, it's your boy Meb. I'm out. Stay frosty.